eventually where you can't even hear it. You can barely hear that one. That would be for some kind of crazy solo that's probably on an electric ukulele or something like that. Or just even sliding, you can hear, if you listen closely. So you can do that on any of them, and that's how I'm doing this. When I'm doing chords, it's changing. Sometimes that's why we have them in different places. I have two that are longer, one that's shorter. Here's my G chord. Then I take it off of that one and keep on going through. So it's changing the length of all the strings, which then change it and makes it work out to different chords that we've talked about, like Do, Mi, So. That's a chord when you have M3. So it at least has a C, E, G, or F, A, C. It has the 1, 3, 5 of the chord, which will make us a nice sounding chord through there that we do all our music to and accompany to. Would you like to talk about anything we have there?
Yes, who can tell me what produces sound? What causes sound to happen? Vibration. If there's not something moving, there will be no sound. Let's look over here. We have 3 different types of instruments here. We have our tuba blocks, we have our boom whackers, and we also have a xylophone. Who can tell me? Mr. Garza was just talking about with the ukulele, you shorten the string and it gets higher. Who can tell me how does that relate to the sound we make on these 3 instruments? What matters to make it higher and lower? Maybe how hard will change it a little bit, but it won't change the pitch. What changes the pitch or the high or low of the sound? How big or small? Is that what you mean? How short or long the bar might be? No. Can I have someone come up here and go up the xylophone from the biggest to the smallest bar? Right here in the blue. Don't forget to balance it. Who noticed what happened as he went up the xylophone? The pitch got higher. So what makes it lower? If it is what?
If it's bigger.
Oh, raise your hand. I heard it, but raise your hand. The bigger it is, the lower it sounds. So that's important. Make sure you write that down. So the bigger it is, the lower it is. The smaller it is, the higher it is. Think about a tuba. When you hear a tuba playing, is a tuba, which is over here on the poster, if you don't remember what it looks like, is the tuba high or low?
Low.
Low. Think about the flute. Is the flute, which is very small, is the flute high or low? High. The flute is very small, and the tuba is very big. And so the tuba plays quite low, and the flute will play quite high. Do I have somebody who can come demonstrate that on our broom whackers? Let's have 2 people, because there are a lot of them. Let's go right here in the Star Wars shirt. And then, since you're not having to crawl over people, excuse me, do you want to come too? Oh, come on over here. Both of you?
Both of you.
Both of you. Yep. Oh, and Gigi, you want to start? She's going to play. So Gigi goes first.
There you are. You'll be over here.
Okay, next one.
Flat on your pockets, please. Back and see. Flat on your pockets.
Hogan.
I'll have her.
What happened as we went big to small again? Oh, put your hands out. Just wait. Is this the right way? I'll do way 1 and way 2. Tell me which is correct and why. Here's the first way. Here's the second way. Who can tell me why do they sound different? And which way is the right way to play it? Well, I didn't hit it any differently. You can tell me what I changed. What did I change in the super magic?
You changed the pitch and number change right because when you did it way one, you held it, so when you hit it, it was like vibration.
I'm stopping the vibration when I'm holding on to the metal part of the triangle. Doesn't sound so good, does it? But when I hold the string, it lets it vibrate more. It shakes to make the sound. So it has to move to make the sound. Let's go back over to Mr. Garza.
Wait, thank you, Ms. Connor. One thing I was thinking about right now, can anybody name the instrument I am using right now?
A trumpet.
No, I'm not using a trumpet. What instrument are you using right now?
Your vocal cord.
My vocal cords. I'm using my voice. Very nice. Good. So that's another instrument that we have that everybody in the room has and we use all the time. Same thing. Well, we're not doing that now. We got to be kind of quick this morning to get through a few more things.
Vocal cords off.
Thank you. Yes, voice is off. So same thing, we talked about vibration, and you know my voice goes up and down during a whole class period through here too. But what I'm doing to make my voice get higher and lower is, again, lengthening and shortening my vocal cords. It's also size, as far as you know that my voice is going to sound lower than if I had one of you standing next to me. We talked about size. That's one way too. Your voices are what's called an octave higher than mine, which means when I'm here, your voice is here, and my voice is here. We usually have that big difference in there. And you know I'll sing that sometimes with you if I'm singing, Mary had a little lamb, but your voice should be at, Mary had a little lamb. So I can jump up that whole octave through there, and I'm singing what's called my, very sound, waiting for quiet please. I'm jumping up that octave, tightening my vocal cords, but it's that vibration of sound that's causing that to happen through there. So even changing pitch within my own range, the vibrations get a lot longer and slower if I'm singing very low, and they get a lot faster if I'm singing high. So you'll hear me just do something here. I'll make up something right now. But if I'm just singing la 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 la, you can hear it, or I can slow it down maybe a little. Compared when I sing faster or sing higher, you're going to hear that vibration going higher. Up there you should hear that. Let's one real high. There we go. So you'll hear that difference, and the vibrato is what that's called. You can hear that vibrato comes from vibration. You have that slower vibration on the lower pitches and much faster when I'm up here. All right. And this is called the what? Trombone is correct. Trombone is correct. Sometime you'll probably get to see Ms. Conrad play trumpet. She plays trumpet, and has done that a lot. I do not know what it's going to sound like this morning, because I think the last time I played this was the last time I played it for you. So here we go. Not for another second grade class right now. I'm going to see if anybody can recognize the song, and hopefully I will too, playing the trombone. Let's first do this, actually. See if you can tell me what's going to happen. Raising your hand, if you can tell me what you think is going to happen, I'm going to have my slide out like this, and I'm going to bring my slide in. Don't even answer right now. Think in your head whether the sound's going to get higher or whether the sound's going to get lower when I bring the slide in. And think about it that way, and then we'll talk about it. Raise your hand right now if you think the sound is going to get lower. Raise your hand right now if you think it's going to get higher. All right, let's listen and see what happens. I don't know what's about to happen. When I started here and came to here, did the sound get higher or lower? Higher. It did get higher, and it got higher, it got lower. It starts off low because you can see how the tubing goes all around here. I am doing what? I'm making the instrument longer, exactly. When the slide, that's what's really different about the trombone, because you can see it happening here. You're not going to see it as much happening with the trumpet or some other instruments. You can think about it a little bit. But with the way that works out, and Ms. Conrad might be able to tell you a little bit better, but it works out with the different valves. It's the same thing, the same concept. It lengthens and shortens the sound by the different combinations it takes through here. So sound isn't always going all the way through every single slide in a trumpet or other valve instruments. The trombone, it is right now. There is one little difference when I do this that sends it somewhere else. But the sound is going through all of these tubes for the most part on a trombone. But on a trumpet, French horn, any of those other things, you're going to get different combinations of lengths of sounds. You want to tell them a little bit more about the valves?
The reason, we don't call them buttons, do we? We call them valves. The reason we call them valves is because when you push them down, there are 3 valves on the top of a trumpet. When you push different valves down, either one of them, or 2 of them, or all 3 of them, it changes what's happening in the instrument. They open and close tubes on the inside of the instrument. The same thing happens with French horn and tuba and flugelhorn. Anything that has valves, it shortens and lengthens by closing and opening the different tubes as you push different combinations down. So unlike the trombone, that just lengthens and shortens, and he also has that little button he pushes, but on a valved instrument, there are 7 different ways you can open and close tubes on the inside that you don't always see. So that's how we get some of the lower and higher pitches on
You're talking about like 7 different combinations? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So different combinations of the valves. So you can maybe have 1 valve down, or 2, or 3, or different combinations of the different fingers on there. So I didn't know how many combinations that was. So 7 different combinations. And the pitch also changes by how tight, as far as your embouchure here and your lips. You can be in one place just like I am right now. I don't have to change pitch with just the slide. I can change pitch just with my mouth right now by blowing air, more air through or less air, and tightening my lips. I'll try. We'll see. We have. I'm not sure if Miss Conrad. So you're going to have to think about our bongos that we have up there. One's bigger, one's small. Not even necessarily on those, but you'll see all through here, so you can't see those in the corner there. But I'm going to have 2 people for each one of these come up, and we need to do this kind of quickly. When you're the person holding it, hold it from the wood part. You're not holding it from the drum, because that'll stop the sound. So you are holding onto it. You are holding onto it right here.
And Mr.
And you
Garza,
are playing.
while you pick kids, if you are interested in playing drums or percussion in
And when you play.
junior high or high school, you have to pretty much have piano background, okay? Because a lot of kids try out, and the only kids that make it are ones that have a piano background, okay? Something to consider. Not, you don't just get to pick.
The person in front of you is going to play just two sounds right now. They're going to go and play towards the end. Hold it up nice and tight. You're going to play. And then next person, next person, next person. So I'll try to guide you as you're going here across. So Jack right now, ready? Play 2 beats. Next person. Next person. Yeah, hold yours on the end and a little bit more of an angle that way. And don't hold off the side. Do it again. We're going to go right in order one more time. Ready and go. Start from Heidi. Heidi, come on down this way. Ready? And you probably have heard this. If you've ever gone to any of the football games, the percussion sections, they have that. They have all the bass drums, and they'll have, sometimes they will have this many bass drums, and that's really cool to hear them go down the sound of. They go back and forth and have to know exactly where they are. Let's try to do that fast, just so you can get an idea of what those high school students do. So it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and try to move that fast. 1, 2, ready, and go. Pretty good. And then try to come back down with it. Oh, that was better than I thought it was going to be. That was nice. Try to. 1, 2, ready, and go. Jack, sorry. We're going to start with Jack and come back down. Ready, and go. And come back down. Ready? And come back down. And come back. We might have to work on that before we go on the football field.